Action and excitement are coming your way. Enjoy the moment. We're going through the 8's right now, guys, in the 4 suits, and this is the Rider-Waite version for the 8 of Wands. And if you notice, all those wands are shooting through the air. They have to come back down, right? So the reverse says, you are overwhelmed by the action around you. Unexpected changes. Yeah, we don't want to do reverse. That's this box, but you can pick up any Rider-Waite off of where you buy stuff from and you should be okay. I kept my 8 of Wands pretty close to the Rider-Waite. So this is the Gourmet Tarot box right here, and this is what they have for the 8 of Wands. Interesting, right? A lot of different foods on the skewer, right? And then the Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti. I like that one. You know, I use my Lenormand deck to ask about my money again from the AI stuff that I sold back in April, because if you've been watching me this whole time, you know that since Halloween, 2 things have said paid out, and I got paid on the smallest thing, but on the bigger one that's over $2,000 worth of money, they haven't paid me out. And because I'm dealing with 2 different companies, one is my manager or managing company, because they were the one that introduced me to the one that packages the thing to sell it. The packaging people said, you got to talk to him. And I emailed him and he's not saying anything. So I'm reading the cards to see when my stuff is coming. And when I did Lenormand, the Scythe came up, which is kind of like that card. Fast action, like something's going to happen quickly. But watch it, because Scythe could also mean that they could cut away at something. Maybe they cut away at my total. But we're not speaking that. We're speaking positivity, right? So if I did what do you call it? The tarot, and I got that card, I'd be happy. So let's go to the 8 of Wands in... Again, Rider-Waite. Let me put on my reading glasses. That's from this box. This box was only like $3 at Temu. It says, you're busy, but this is a great thing. You're productive and making great strides. Strike while the iron is hot, removing distractions and devoting yourself entirely to an activity or opportunity will propel you even closer to your goal. Be mindful of where your energy needs to be placed and use it wisely. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire. Speed, action, movement, swift change, sudden action, manifesting quickly, results, quick decision, and air travel. I think I'm really going to put these cards in order, and I'm going to read all of that into the computer so it can be typed up, and I can have this as a little cheat sheet for when I want more in-depth meanings for these cards. So the next deck that I owned, deck number 5, is from Ciro Marchetti again, and it's called Marchetti Tarot, and this is their 8 of Wands. It's their 8 of Wands. And then my 8 of Wands, I stayed close to the Rider-Waite, and I did breadsticks flying through the air on fire. Yes, yes, yes. The palm trees that you can barely see blurred out in the background. Let me tell you, those caught fire in 2002. Somebody shot a firecracker up there and the tops were burning. We went to a party. My uncle was on his deathbed and I needed a distraction, so we went to a 4th of July party. I knew it was going to happen that day because he was such a patriot and a soldier. And when we came home at 8 o'clock at night, we saw the trees on fire on the top, so that this part didn't catch fire because the rocket went up in there. And that's exactly when he passed. Since then, the tops have grown back because they put the fire out, everything. So that has a lot of meaning for me as a card reader. Maybe for somebody who buys my deck, they won't understand any of that unless they come and see my video. But for me, it has a lot of meaning. So I don't think my sister knew that. I think my sister came over to the channel and subscribed. I don't think she knew that those trees were on fire in 2002 when Les passed. Okay, so for the cups, the 8 of Cups, it says, you've tried your best. It's time to cut ties and move on. Lesson learned. That's the upright. The reverse is the path is uncertain and you are holding on to what is over. Escape. So see, he's walking away from what no longer serves him. From the 8 Cups, right? From the Rider-Waite. And then from the Gourmet Tarot, it's... Okay, I don't see 8 cups, but that's weird. They don't have to put the numbers, but I put the numbers in mine. So the 8 of Cups here, Gilded Tarot Royale. Like that one. Really like that one. I'm gonna, when I start reading, I know for a fact that I'm gonna read from the Gilded Tarot Royale, and I'm gonna read from my deck for sure, for sure, for sure. And then if the Holy Ghost moves me to read from these other decks, I will. This one right here, so let's go ahead and read it. It says, the past needs to be put where it belongs. Set yourself on a journey forward, whether that's towards something big, like a new job or relationship, or something small, like a new hobby or pattern of thought. Either way, you're looking for a higher purpose. The recognition you seek cannot be found in the current position. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water, disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. See, I see walking away from what no longer serves you. I feel like it's a good thing. Ooh, let me cover this man booty. That's from the Marchetti Tarot. Oh, here goes the light messing this one up. From that box. For mine, this is one of my goof that I did. We went to the nature center and I had my husband walk away. And you're supposed to see 6 bowls or cups down below on the rocks. I mean, not 6, 8. But my graphics for the meaning of the card covered it up. I needed to pull the picture up a little bit so you can see the extra 2 cups. And I fixed it since this print, but I haven't ordered a new print yet. But I know. So my son says, don't worry about this deck, Mommy. This is going to be your unique deck that no one will ever have because everything's fixed, right? So here we go. That is my walking away. Walk away. Leave with my blessing. Once in a while, let me hear from you. I'm going to get copyright infringed. Well, I'm not singing it correct. So, if we ever meet again, this side of heaven. You know, if you don't want to get copyright infringed, you sing it off tune. You are your worst enemy. You have what is needed to fix the problem. See? From this, see? This is self-imposed restrictions. Every time I read for my friend Jada's friend Dean, I get this card. He's his worst enemy. He's always restricting himself. The 8 of Swords from the Gourmet Tarot. I like this one even though it doesn't have 8 swords. I like how the cheese is cut up. Pointy like that. I like that one. From that box right there. And then sometimes when I have that glasses on because it's my near, it starts to feel heavy on my face. The 8 of Swords. See, the girl done tied herself up. See? Self-imposed restriction. And then from our friend over here, the cheap Temu deck, Rider Waite again, need the glasses. It says, your previous thought patterns may no longer be of use to you. Open yourself to a shift in thought because a change in perspective may be exactly what you need right now. You may be labeling yourself the victim rather than feeling sorry for yourself. Take back your power and evaluate the choices you have. Trust your intuition. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Air. Negative thoughts, self-imposed restriction, imprisonment, victim mentality, restriction, feeling isolated. I feel like everybody on one side of the political spectrum in America today is that card right there. Victim mentality, child. Swords. 8 of Swords. From whom? Marchetti Tarot deck, which is from Ciro Marchetti. And then from my deck, from Babs's deck, Tarot a la carte, I did a rotisserie chicken. And see them 8 knives there? And I'm the one that tied up that chicken, child. I plaited that rope, tie it up. Because you have to tie it up to make it spin and not touch, right? And so we got a perfect thing in the toaster oven right there on the counter. It's kind of hard when you don't take the things outside to get the daylight, right? So now we're in the Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. And what do you call it? The Rider Waite says, honing your skills has led to success. Determination pays off. And reverse says, you may need to acquire a skill to realize the success you desire. See, I didn't want to go through these cards one video at a time. You know, it'd be a bajillion videos, yeah, but I want to get this done. And then, where are we at? For the Gourmet Tarot. And this deck is still available at Amazon. I'll put a link down below if you want to buy this deck from Amazon. I'll get a piece of the pie if you use my link, okay? Because my deck's not ready yet. 8 of Pentacles. Like dumplings. But I'd rather you wait for my deck to be ready so you could patronize me. I don't know that I'll make money off of selling that deck because it's so pricey. It's so pretty, but it's so pricey. But I'll make money off of readings. The hell? God's not going to give me all this intuition that I've always had. I feel like we got it from my mom. I feel like all of her children have it, but I feel like me and my sister have it more. The girls have it more. So that's the Gilded Tarot Royale. If you want, I could put this link down below too, so I can get a piece of the pie if you buy this one. And then for the cheap Temu Rider-Waite deck, it says the Eight of Pentacles may be telling you to chase after education, going back to school, taking on a new skill or something in that vein. Whether it is you're working hard to master it. Know that the dedication you have will pay off in the long run. So if somebody's asking you, should I go back to school? Like Jada asked me that to do a reading on that. And it said no. It said no, by the way. But if this comes up, it's a yes. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Earth. Diligence, passion, hard work, high standards, mastery, apprenticeship, talent, skill development, positive what? Potential. So that's the Eight of Pentacles from that deck. And then from the big beautiful deck right here, oh, I think we're gonna show this man. He got some titties going, but we could show him. And then from my big beautiful gorgeous deck, bagels was one of the hardest things for me to learn besides sourdough bread. So I did honey bagels, and I'm honing my craft, child. I sure am. See the back of my card? Beautiful, right? So when I come back, I'm going to read from this book so you guys can know what the Gilded Tarot Royale book says. Let's see if I can get this done before the battery dies, guys. Eight of Wands, events set in motion are moving speedily towards their inexorable, I don't know what that word is, inexorable conclusion. I'm going to look up that word. And then Eight of Cups, knowing that it's time to move on, something is missing and you have to go in search of it. And then the Eight of Swords is feeling trapped, seeing no way out of a situation, being in a precarious situation. And then the Eight of Pentacles, mastering and perfecting a skill, learning to do the best you possibly can, loving your work and the process as much as the end results. All right, so where's my phone? Let's see if I can look up that word. If not, I'll change the battery and come back and tell you. Don't worry. Inexorable. E-I-N-E-X-O-R-A-B-L-E. And it means impossible to stop, prevent, or persuade. Hey, we learned a new word while doing tarot today, right?